स्पिक योर माइन्डमा हामी एटलिस्ट एउटा गीत भने सुन्ने गर्दछौँ बिकज शनिबार बिहानको समय हुन्छ अलिकति जाडो महिनाको समयमा एटलिस्ट अलि एनर्जेटिक हुन पनि धेरै जरुरी रहेको हुन्छ धेरैभन्दा धेरै इन्टेलेक्चुअल टक्सहरूभन्दा अगाडि अलिकति आफूले आफूलाई रेडी गराउनु पनि धेरै जरुरी रहेको छ र म्युजिक अलवेज हेल्प्स इन एभ्रिथिङ इन आवर लाइफ होइन हामी जे पनि गर्छौँ जेको लागि पनि म्युजिकले मद्दत गर्ने नै गर्दछ यस आज पनि म प्रसन्न तपाईँलाई साथ दिइरहेको छु स्पिक योर माइन्डमा नै हामी रहेका छौँ आज पनि मेरो साथमा अमित श्रेष्ठजी हुनुहुन्छ उहाँ सर्टिफाइड जोन म्याक्सवेल कोच र स्पिकर हुनुहुन्छ पर्सनालिटी डेभलपमेन्ट कोच पनि हुनुहुन्छ हि इज द फाउन्डर एन्ड एमडी अफ पिक रिजल्ट्स अ बिजनेस कन्सल्टिङ फर्म इन अस्ट्रेलिया हि हेज अल्सो रिटन एन्ड पब्लिस्ड अ फिक्सनल बुक कल्ड द फल्ट 2016 मा पब्लिस भएको थियो which actually narrates the story of the family struggle in 2015 earthquake Nepal. हजुर उहाँसँग पनि आज हामी कुराकानी गर्नेवाला छौँ विशेष गरी अबाउट हाउ बिलिभ्स सेप अस हामी जुन सोसाइटीमा बस्छौँ बच्चैदेखि हामीलाई डिफ्रेन्ट बिलिफ सिस्टम्सहरूले समातिसकेको हुन्छ कन्डिसन्ड भइसकेका हुन्छौँ हामी इन्फ्लुएन्सेसको बारेमा पनि कुराकानी गर्नेवाला छौँ हाउ पिपल अराउन्ड अस इम्प्याक्ट अस एन्ड अभियसली पनि आज हामी न्युरो लिङ्ग्विस्टिक प्रोग्रामिङ जुन हामीले लास्ट विक पनि टच गरेका थियौँ राजेन्द्र मानन्दजीसँग अलिकति कुराकानी गरेका थियौँ यसलाई पनि अलिकति डिपली बुझ्न खोज्नेछौँ हजुर आजको लागि कार्यक्रममा म स्वागत गर्न चाहन्छु हाम्रो गेस्ट अमित श्रेष्ठजीलाई स्वागत छ कार्यक्रममा
थ्याङ्क यू
यस अमितजी 2018 पनि आउँदैछ होइन न्यू इयर इज अल्सो कमिङ अप एन्ड 2017 को हामी अन्त्यतिर रहेका छौँ अब डिसेम्बर 1 मा त तपाईँको इभेन्ट पनि भएको थियो राजेन्द्र मानन्दजी पनि वाज अ गेस्ट स्पिकर होइन त त्यसमा चाहिँ तपाईँले विभिन्न किसिमका लिडरसिप सम्बन्धी विशेष गरी स्ट्राटेजिक लिडरसिप टाइटल नै रहेको थियो होइन त्यसको त्यो सम्बन्धी इभेन्ट गर्नुभएको थियो यस्ता इभेन्ट्सहरूको मेन पर्पस के हुन्छ जसरी तपाईँले 1-to-1 गर्नुहुन्छ होइन त्यसमा र इभेन्ट गर्नुमा के फरक छ आर इभेन्ट्स मोर इम्प्याक्टफुल अर इभेन्ट्सको चाहिँ छुट्टै किसिमको एउटा स्ट्रक्चर हुन्छ
हजुर मेरो फाउन्डेसन चाहिँ 1-on-1 देखि सुरु भयो कोचिङ एन्ड लिडिङ तर मासमा गएर यस्तो टिचिङ्सहरू गर्दाखेरि चाहिँ यो चाहिँ मिक्स क्राउड हुन्छ जुन चाहिँ स्टुडेन्ट्सदेखि लिएर एडल्ट म्याच्योर्ड कुनै पनि एरिया अफ द कम्युनिटी को मान्छेहरूलाई चाहिँ एउटा जेनरली एक्सेप्टेड लिडरसिप प्रिन्सिपल्सको बारेमा हामी पढाउँछौँ स्ट्राटेजिसको बारेमा पढाउँछौँ 1-on-1 चाहिँ हामी कुनै स्पेसिफिक इस्यु पर्टिकुलर इस्युलाई चाहिँ हामीले फोकस गरेर त्यो इस्युलाई चाहिँ रिजल्भ गर्छ त्यो डिफ्रेन्सेस छ
त्यसो डिफ्रेन्स रहेको छ होइन आज त हामी लाइक वी टक्ड यस्टरडे होइन वी आर गोना टक अबाउट बिलिफ्स एन्ड स्पेसली तपाईँकै बारेमा अलिकति सुरुवातमा कुराकानी गर्न चाहन्छु होइन तपाईँ जब एक्चुली सुरुमा त योबाट सिए पढिरहनु भएको थियो एकदमै एम्बिसियस पर्सन हुनुहुन्थ्यो होइन त्यहाँबाट आएर to actually inspire thousands and thousands of people. How was the journey? How did it really happen? To trigger point kaile bhayo to feel ki you have to actually speak in mass and speak 1-to-1 and help other people?
Yeah, that's a good question. Khas gari CA is my career goal. The personal development and leadership is, I believe, that's my calling goal. Right. So, harik mancheko euta career huncha euta calling huncha. Career is what you choose and calling is what chooses you. Nice. That's kind of, probably CA is what I chose as a career. Right. That beyond that, I believe my purpose in life was to empower others. त्यो एउटा सानो inclination त भइरहेको छ सबैको लाइफमा everyone has certain kind of inclination and you find out that person is going to be or that person is going to suit in that particular role. I was a teacher for around 10 years before I actually went to Australia. त्यो teacher भइसकेपछि it wasn't a great choice to be a teacher but slowly I started liking the concept of teaching and empowering people अनि त्यसपछि that set in my DNA kind of thing, you know. So even when I was working as a CA, certain calling inside me kept telling me I need to go out and empower people. I mean, that's how the journey began.
That's really, really nice. And because you said you were not actually interested in teaching, Suruma, just for professional.
Yeah, beginning, do something kind of thing, and you look around and you find teaching the most accessible
available.
and most available. So you get into that.
We're going to talk about teaching. Most importantly, we're going to talk about education system itself. जस्तो तपाईँ सुरुवातमा नै तपाईँ नै एउटा एक्जाम्पल हुनुहुन्छ हैन, बिकज पिपल जसले चाहिँ कुनै पनि जब प्राप्त गरिरहेका हुँदैनन्, मोस्ट प्रोबेबली नेपालमा चाहिँ टिचिङ गर्ने रहेको छैन. टिचिङ इज कन्सिडर सच अ हाई पोस्ट in foreign countries हैन. It needs so much qualities for you to become a teacher, but यहाँ चाहिँ त्यो छैन. Anyways, हामी त्यसको बारेमा कुराकानी गर्ने नै वाला छौँ. तर सुरुवातमा पनि I want to talk about, directly gonna talk about beliefs. अनि विकिपीडियामा डेफिनेसन हेरेको थिएँ beliefs को हैन. It says कि the state of mind in which a person thinks something to be the case with or without there being empirical evidence to prove that something is the case with factual certainty भनेर भनिएको छ हैन. भनेपछि त्यसमा प्रुफ हुन जरुरी छैन, त्यसमा नभए पनि त्यो बिलिफ सिस्टममा इन्टिग्रेट भइ नै हाल्छ हैन. हामी त्यसलाई एक्सेप्ट गरिसकेका हुन्छौँ, हामीले मतलब डेली लाइफमा नै बिलिफ्सहरू रेजिस्टर गरिरहेका हुन्छौँ. हाउ डु वी रेकग्नाइज इट? सुरुमा त इज इट कम्प्लिटली बेस्ड अन इमोसन्स द्याट वी एक्चुअली इन्टिग्रेट दोज बिलिफ्स?
एक्चुअली त्यो बिलिफको पेरिफेरीमा जानुभन्दा अगाडि आई वुड लाइक टु टच बेस इन्टु the consciousness, and before that एउटा कुरा चाहिँ के इम्पोर्टेन्ट छ भने there are two things that shape all our actions and emotions. The first one is belief, the second is values. So now belief, everything we do or we don't do in our life is based on what we believe and we don't. Basically things we don't believe we don't do. Our belief भनेको चाहिँ के भन्दाखेरि perceived reality, which means Neuro Linguistic Programming, a term which is called incantation, which means things that you experience, you see, you hear again and again, but it might not be a true thing, or it might not have a background or evidence, but still you keep hearing that. Initially you feel like it's a lie, but again, because it's repeating in your mind and your mind cannot then distinguish whether it's a lie or real thing, so the unreal becomes real most of the time. So that sets the belief. So it's really important to understand how the belief actually sets in human beings, and then and how the actions are driven by the belief. So belief actually it doesn't need evidence. It's just that something that you repeat again and again in your mind, play again and again, and then it becomes a real thing for you.
That's how I guess the mass media is controlling us in a way. Worldwide नै हामीले हेर्दाखेरि जसरी हामीलाई त्यही कुरा रिपिट गरेर देखाइरहेका हुन्छन् र that is not actually true, but it's already integrated and we have to face the consequences हैन. How do we identify a belief? Especially it's a very important question, because suppose अब हामीले चाहिँ हाम्रो perception रहेको छ कि एउटा person एकदमै bad रहेको छ, एकदमै aggressive रहेको छ, उसलाई चाहिँ we have heard lots and lots of bad things about that person. Automatically जब हामी त्यो person लाई भेट्छौँ, already we have got that preconceived notions and we are so much involved in thinking, analyzing that person कि एउटा प्योर कन्भर्सेसन हामीले त्यो पर्सनसँग गर्नै सक्दैनौँ हैन. That is happening in all types of relationships as well. How do you identify those beliefs?
Definitely a really good question, and it's a deep question. To state it flatly, म के भन्छु भन्दाखेरि as a teacher, जब when I get into a class, for example, and when I see different students coming from different backgrounds, different culture, different setup, and their behavior is completely displayed. Okay, when I see a behavior in a certain student, and then most of the teachers and most of us try to fix the behavior. Some behaviors are empowering behaviors, some behaviors are disempowering behaviors. So when we see a disempowering or a bad behavior, so as to flatly state, then we try to fix the behavior, and I think that's not a right thing. So when you see a behavior in a certain person, then you identify that the person believes something, and that's the reason why he's behaving that way. So consciously, there are two kinds of beliefs. Some beliefs doesn't need to be fixed because they're already good beliefs. Okay, some beliefs, for example, working hard will give you all the results in your life. In order to get the outcome that you want, you need to work hard, you need to manage your time. These are the beliefs that are empowering beliefs. But there are certain beliefs that are disempowering beliefs. For example, an event happens in my life. Okay, certain events happen in my life, and that event was a painful event, for example. Now, it is completely me to give a meaning into that event. For example, if I say that even because of that event, my life is a hell, then it's a hell. It's a belief that I set up.
Yeah.
And if I think that, no, this is certainly a test from the Almighty God to me, and He's trying to empower me and make me stronger so that no one suffers from the same thing that I suffered now, then it's a different meaning that you give it.
That's a really strong belief to have.
Absolutely. So and then once you start believing in either way, you start acting in either way. For example, if you say my life is hell, then you act as if your life is hell, and sooner than later, your life becomes hell, for example. And if you think that, no, I have been chosen as a strong candidate to, perceive this and work on to avoid this in happening in somebody else's life, then you actually go into that and then and create a reality of that sphere. So no event in itself has a meaning until the meaning we give them, and the meaning is based on our beliefs.
Amitji, we will be talking about this more, and भनिहालेँ मैले आज हामी डिपली नै जानेवाला छौँ यसको यो कुराहरूलाई सर्फेसियली त हामीले धेरै बुझिसकेका हुन्छ हैन, तर कोरली लास्टमा त हाउ can we do, what can we do? And that's the most important thing, and that is something that we're going to talk about right after the first commercial break.
नेपाली चलचित्रको सम्मानमा आयोजित
CG Entertainment presents Kammana Film Awards 2074.
तपाईलाई मनपर्ने विधामा भोट गर्न KFA स्पेस कोड नम्बर टाइप गरी 32722 मा पठाउनुहोस्।
सर्वोत्कृष्ट चलचित्र
छक्का पंजा
1A,
डाइङ क्यान्डल
1B,
गाजलु
1C,
जात्रा
1D,
के म तिम्रो होइन र
1E.
स्पोन्सर्ड बाइ
Pashupati Biscuits, Yeti Carpet, Rusla, Prabhu Bank, NIC Asia, IME Kilometer. A Christian listener, CG Entertainment.
मापसे गरी सवारी साधन नचलाउँ र अरूलाई पनि चलाउन नलगाउँ। तपाईको सचेतनाका लागि डार्क फरेस्ट प्रिमियम व्हिस्की फ्लेभर।
फुडम्यान टु अनलाइन फुड फेस्टिभल चल्यो, लन्च डिनर पार्टी अब गजब जम्मै भयो।
थरी थरीका रेस्टुरेन्टका व्यञ्जन टेस्ट गर्नुस्,
जहाँ मागे त्यही आउँछ अनलाइन अर्डर गर्नुस्। Bukiriram presents Foodpanda Online Food Festival powered by Summersby. काठमाडौँ र ललितपुरका प्रसिद्ध 33 सहभागी रेस्टुरेन्टहरूका उत्कृष्ट परिकारहरू तपाईले चाहनु भएको ठाउँमा तुरुन्तै आइपुग्नेछ, साथमा आकर्षक उपहार र छुट पनि। यही डिसेम्बर 22 देखि जनवरी 5 सम्म, जहाँ तपाई उत्सव त्यही। लग अन टु foodpanda.com/foodfest. Refreshment partner Coca-Cola, internet partner WorldLink, mobility partner Hero Motocorp, banking partner Nepal Investment Bank, media partner Nagarik Dainik, magazine partner Friday, supported by Alucaco, Butta, Caffeine, Wellness Organic Club.
हैन, छोरी अस्ट्रेलिया पढ्न जाने भन्दै छे, कसरी पठाउने? मलाई त चिन्ता पो लागिरहेको छ।
ढुक्क भए हुन्छ। विगत 15 वर्षदेखि विद्यार्थीको उज्जवल भविष्यको लागि स्टडी अब्रोडमा उत्कृष्ट परामर्श दिने अस्टडी छ नि।
हो नि बाबा, मेरो साथीहरूले अस स्टडीजबाट नै एप्लाई गर्दैछन्। अस्ट्रेलियाको अप्रोप्रिएट युनिभर्सिटी सर्च गर्न, कोर्सेस र करियरको बेस्ट इन्फर्मेसन, भिजा गाइडेन्स र टेस्ट क्लासेसहरू एकदमै राम्रो छ रे।
त्यसो भए आजै जाऊ अस स्टडीज कान्तिपुर, फोन 42227934 422298 मलाई पनि थाहा नभएको कहाँ हो र? हजुरको स्मार्टनेस को चेक गरे कि त?
हुलास जिरा मसिनो,
हुलास भई अरु किन खोज्ने?
चौतारी सानो साझा र न्यानो झल्कियो बिस्तारा, श्रावण विधि पानीका धेरै सबैलाई रोजगार।
विविध परिकार एकै गन्तव्य नेपाल डेरी।
एन्डिज सबको एन्डिज, भरोसा कहिले टुट्ने छैन, साथ विश्वासको छुट्ने छैन, बढ्ने छौ सधैँले उमङ्ग, चल्ने छौ सधैँ समयसँग।
गुणस्तरीय र विश्वासिलो नेपालको नम्बर 1 ओपीसी सिमेन्ट मारुति सिमेन्ट, हामी बनाउँदैछौँ नेपाललाई।
झन्डु बाम पीडा हरि बाम, लुगाको कि टाउको दुख्न छिनमै दूर गर्ने। झन्डु बाम,
एक बाम 3 काम, झन्डु बाम।
लुगाको कि टाउको दुख्ने छिनमै आराम। झन्डुबा
अब टाउको दुखाइ हटाऊ जहिले भए नि जहाँ भए नि नयाँ झन्डु रोल अन
झन्डुबा
Crack the Hotspot 2018 New Year Hotspot at Anupam Foodland and Banquet. Crack the Hotspot. Crack 5 अनुपम फूडल्यान्ड एन्ड ब्याङ्क्वेटमा एकै पटकमा कतिवटा कार्यक्रम गर्न मिल्छ? A एकवटा, B 3वटा. Log into our official Facebook page www.facebook.com/timesfm to break your crack.
नेपाली चलचित्रको सम्मानमा आयोजित
CG Entertainment presents
कामना फिल्म अवार्ड्स 2074 तपाईलाई मनपर्ने विधामा भोट गर्न KFA स्पेस कोड नम्बर टाइप गरी 32722 मा पठाउनुहोस्.
सर्वोत्कृष्ट निर्देशक
सुवर्ण थापा बाटोमुनिको फुल
2A
दिपेन्द्र के खन्ना टपली हाइडु
2B
हेमराज बिसी गाजलु
2C
आकाश अधिकारी के म तिम्रो होइन र
2D
निश्चल बस्ने लुटु
2E
स्पोन्सर बाई
पशुपति बिस्किट यति कार्पेट हुस्ला प्रभु ब्याङ्क NIC एसिया IME किलोमिटर.
एभरेस्ट बैंक प्रस्तुत गर्दछ एभरेस्ट स्पेशल सेभिङ. एभरेस्ट स्पेशल सेभिङको प्रस्तुति नेपालमै फर्स्ट टाइम यस्तो फेसिलिटी रु 5 लाखको दुर्घटना बिमा, रु 1 लाखको उपचार बिमा, निशुल्क छ SMS, इन्टरनेट ब्याङ्किङ, आशबा, डेबिट कार्ड, डीम्याट खाता ओपनिङ, साथै लकर रेन्ट. क्रेडिट कार्डमा 50% छुट, आकर्षक ब्याज दरमा सम्पूर्ण सुविधा. इट्स सो गुड. एभरेस्ट बैंक लिमिटेड, दिगो, दरिलो र विश्वासिलो.
ख्याल त राख्नै पर्छ. मात्रै चाहेर के? चाहना त सबैको यही हुन्छ कि उसको कपाल होस् लामो, कालो र बाक्लो. त फेरि साधारण तेल किन? अरे भाइ, तेलमा औषधीय गुण भए पो अनि त कपाल मजबुत हुन्छ. त्यसैले त मेरो भरोसा हो केश किङ आयुर्वेदिक तेल, जो बनेको छ 16 खास आयुर्वेदिक तत्त्वले. केश किङ राख्छ मेरो कपालको ख्याल अनि कपाल हुन्छ लामो, कालो र बाक्लो. केश किङ, द किङ अफ हेयर ओइल्स.
Yes, welcome back after that first commercial break. Time 90.6 MHz के तरङ्गमा हुनुहुन्छ. म प्रसन्न तपाईलाई साथ दिइरहेको छु. हामी युथहरूलाई हुने र युथको मनलाई छुने टपिक्सहरू टच गरिने कार्यक्रम स्पीक योर माइन्डमा नै छौँ. स्पीक योर माइन्डमा आज पनि हाम्रो कुराकानी भइरहेको छ. सर्टिफाइड जोन म्याक्सवेल कोच एन्ड स्पिकर, अथर एन्ड अफ कोर्स अ भेरी नाइस पर्सन अमित श्रेष्ठजीसँग कुराकानी भइरहेको छ. आज भने विशेष गरी बिलिफ्सको बारेमा कुराकानी गर्दैछौँ. दिस माइट फिल लाइक अ भेरी बेसिक थिङ, त्यति इम्पोर्टेन्ट नलाग्न पनि सक्छ. यसको बारेमा त्यति राम्ररी हामी डिपली कहिले पनि हामीले स्टडी पनि गरेका हुँदैनौँ. तर दिस इज समथिङ द्याट इफेक्ट्स आवर होल लाइफ. हामीलाई हरेक कुरामा, रिलेसनसिप्सहरूमा होस्, हाम्रो काममा होस्, आफ्नो पर्सनल कुराहरूमा होस्, एभ्रिवेयर बिलिफ्स आर एफेक्टिङ अस एन्ड वी आर नट नोइङ अबाउट इट. द्याट्स वाइ वी आर टचिङ दिस भेरी डिप सब्जेक्ट टुडे. यस अमित जी, अबको लागि भने बिलिफ्सकै बारेमा कुराकानी गरिरहँदाखेरि नाउ आई वान्ट टु गो विथ अब के गर्न सकिन्छ होइन बिलिफ्सहरूको बारेमा कुराकानी गरिरहँदाखेरि. सुरुमा त सोसाइटी र हाम्रो विशेष गरी एजुकेसनल स्ट्रक्चरले हामीलाई बिलिफ्सहरू सिकाइरहेको हुन्छ. हामी जब बच्चा हुन्छौँ त्यो बेलामा प्यारेन्टिङले पनि हामीलाई धेरै इफेक्ट गरिरहेको हुन्छ होइन. हामीले जस्तो किसिमको इन्भाइरोमेन्ट प्राप्त गर्छौँ प्यारेन्ट्सहरूबाट, त्यस्तै हाम्रो होल लाइफभरि रिलेसनसिप्सहरूमा इफेक्ट गरिरहेको हामीले धेरै उदाहरणहरू देखेका नै छौँ होइन. सुरुमा त how does one actually recognize those beliefs, those really wrong beliefs that we take from our school, our parents? How do we recognize that?
Okay. यसको एन्सरमा चाहिँ म के भन्न चाहन्छु भने मान्छेहरू generally they are in unconscious state basically, which means pretty much we are sleepwalking.
Right.
किनभने अघि मैले इन्क्यान्टेसनको कुरा गरेँ, रिपिटेसन अफ द सर्टन थिङ्स अगेन एन्ड अगेन इन माइन्ड सेट्स अ बिलिफ एन्ड देन यु स्ट्रङली अफर्म द्याट्स अ ट्रुथ, द्याट्स अ रियालिटी. गिभ एन एक्जाम्पल. फर एक्जाम्पल, अब कसरी चाहिँ बिलिफ सेट हुन्छ, लेट्स टक अ लिटल बिट अबाउट द्याट एन्ड आई कम across
Sure.
how we can change the belief. किनभने belief can be changed instantly if you know how to do it. For example, say एउटा बच्चा छ, केही कुरा माग्दैछ जुन चाहिँ फुट्ने कुरा, and then the बच्चाको approach is very different when she or he asks the first time, maybe a mobile phone, and then the dad says no, okay, and the bachcha changes the approach and asks again differently. The dad says no, the child says asks again differently. uses different techniques and approaches in order to get that mobile phone, but that father is using at the moment, and the father is ignoring him or her, or avoiding him or her. And then finally the child cries. Okay, the child cries. And that's when, in order to avoid that drama, the father might hand that mobile phone to that kid for a certain time. Now, when this pattern repeats again and again, it's a very simple thing in life. But when this happens again and again, what kind of incantation happens in the child's mind is all the rewards come after suffering.
Right.
Only after we cry or only after we suffer, and that's when we get what we want. And that's the belief system that sets up. And then that shapes his or her life later on. And then any small thing, he or she is tended to suffer, or he or she creates that artificial suffering and pain in order to get something in their life. That's the belief. That's how the beliefs, can be set. Now, how do we actually change the belief?
Right.
Changing the belief means understanding what you're believing, which is observing your thought patterns, because we want to have a first-class life with a second-class thinking, and that's the worst thing, and that's reality. So belief can only be changed by identifying the patterns of what you think and what triggers you. So, for example, someone tells me a hurtful thing, and what happens to me at that time is that I have an emotional response, an automatic response into whether giving back to that person, or shouting back, or going to a corner and crying, or maybe reflecting and self-realizing and finding out what the real issue was. So there are different ways we actually react to a certain situation. And in that moment, if we are aware, it takes practice, because success is not built in a day, it's built daily. So if you practice to identify a thought process or pattern of thinking into a certain event as an observer of your thinking, and that's when you can see some beliefs really needs to be changed. Some beliefs are disempowering. Some beliefs are in conflict with what you want in your life. And then you can instantly replace that with some better beliefs. But it all takes a lot of practice, and certainly at one certain point you can instantly change the belief. But then first is the awareness of turning back into your mind and looking it as an observer as to what patterns of thinking happens in your mind when certain event happens.
Just for a person who is completely a restless person, who has got no time to actually analyze, जसले चाहिँ इमोसनमा नै बगेर जे पनि कामहरू गरिरहेको छ, उसको लागि this might sound a very difficult thing to actually जसले चाहिँ आफ्नो थट्सलाई नै हेरिरहेको छैन हैन, मतलब हेरिरहेको in the sense कि really analyzing them, उसको लागि to actually change them, to actually identify which beliefs are really bad. सुरुमा first step के होला यसको लागि for those?
First step is stop sleepwalking. Really important thing. Be a little conscious, be a little aware of because look, belief ले नै हाम्रो सबै actions हाम्रो future determine गर्छ. हामी आफ्नो holidays plan गर्छौं, हामी आफ्नो next New Year Eve का मनाउने plan गर्छौं, that we fail in planning our lives. So it doesn't matter how busy you are or how free you are. It's all about managing your time and prioritizing what is important for you. So if my beliefs are not letting me achieve what I want to achieve in my life, so that's a belief and value in conflict, then it will be a time for me to reflect back on my belief and be an observer. And it doesn't take a long time. What it takes is around 10 minutes of your time, 10 minutes of your whole 24 hours every day, as to be aware of your thinking patterns. And if you have that habit, then you can unconsciously be able to look into that habits. Okay. First, you need to be consciously competent, and then slowly that habit changes into unconscious competence. We'll talk about that.
Yeah, Amitji, I was actually going to say that because we have to go step by step on this, because it's such a deep, personal, आफूले आफूलाई आइडेन्टिफाई गर्ने आफ्नो कोर बिलिफ्सहरुलाई क्वेशनिङको कुरा आउँछ। यहाँनिर धेरै कुराहरू छन् हैन, र यसको बारेमा अझ हामी थप चर्चा गर्नेवाला छौं। तर पालो भइसकेको छ सेकेन्ड कमर्शियल ब्रेकको। कीप अन ट्युनिङ टु टाइम्स एफएम 90.6।
केही गरौँ
We aspire for peace, unity and justice.
Yes, speaker माइन्डमा फेरि पनि तपाईलाई स्वागत गरिहाल्न चाहन्छु। We aspire for peace, unity and justice. Yes, अमित श्रेष्ठ जी हुनुहुन्छ, म प्रसन्न तपाईलाई साथ दिइरहेको छु। टाइम्स एफएम 90.6 मेगाहर्ज नै रहेको छ। यो टेक्निकल साइडबाट मलाई कृष्ण हरिजीले सपोर्ट गर्दै हुनुहुन्छ। यस अमितजी अब आई वान्ट अगेन टक अबाउट यसैको बारेमा होइन स्टेप बाई स्टेप हामी जान चाहन्छौँ क्वेसनिङ भन्ने कुरा अहिले हाम्रो यो जुन लाइफमा हामी बाँचिरहेका छौँ यस्तो एकदमै फास्ट लाइफ रहेको छ इन्फर्मेसनको एज भनेर पनि भन्छौँ होइन हामी इन्फर्मेसनमा भौतारिरहेका हुन्छौँ एउटा राम्रो एउटा एनालोजी हो कि समथिङ समवेयर आई ह्याड रेड कि नाउ वी हेभ गट द लाइट्स होइन लाइक नाउ वी हेभ गट द क्यान्डल्स तर हामीले चाहिँ त्यो क्यान्डल युज गर्ने भन्दा पनि त्यसलाई हेरेर बसिरहेका छैन त्यो इन्फर्मेसनलाई खोजेर अझ नयाँ क्यान्डल कता पाइन्छ भनेर खोजेर बसिरहेको छ न कि त्यसलाई युज गर्ने होइन सो आई वान्ट टक अबाउट युजिङ द थिङ्स द्याट यु हेभ एक्चुली सेयर्ड अबाउट बिलिफ्स होइन र त्यसमा स्टेप बाई स्टेप जाँदाखेरि सुरुमा त क्वेसनिङकै कुराहरू रहेको छ क्वेसनिङ हाउ डु यु डेभलप द्याट र क्वेसनिङ भनेको चाहिँ के हो बिकज हामी त वी माइट फिल कि वी क्वेसन एभ्रिथिङ होइन त्यो च्याटर ब्याटर त भइरहेको हुन्छ माइन्डमा तर एक्चुली क्वेसन रियली गेटिङ द क्वालिटी क्वेसन्स फर चेन्जिङ यर होन पर्सनल इनर सेल्फ त्यसको बारेमा कुरा गर्नु
डेफिनेटली आज हामी इन्टरटेनमेन्टमा यति गहिरिसकेका छौँ विच इज नट अ ब्याड थिङ तर वी आर so rich in entertainment and information, but we're losing wisdom. त्यसै कारणले गर्दा very good question about questioning itself. So questioning को बारेमा कुरा गर्दाखेरि thinking is a process of asking and answering question unconsciously or consciously. What we all are doing when we are thinking is we are asking and answering questions with ourselves. So the quality of question determines the quality of answer, and so as it determines the quality of your life. For example, again, let's get into the questioning thing. So to be very precise, हामी जतिखेर पनि 24/7 consciously unconsciously if we are thinking anything, we are questioning ourselves. Doesn't really have to have a question mark or that thing in your mind, but then we are questioning ourselves and we are answering ourselves. And evolution ko theory le pani hamlai human beings ko ability as distinct from other species is the power of thinking. So sometimes thinking is a blessing for human beings, but sometimes it is a curse,
right?
If done differently. So thinking mere vicharma chahi ke ho bhane when certain event happens, for example, say I'm overweight, okay, my question is reason-based thinking versus intelligent thinking. So reason-based thinking is we generally tend to get into why question. Why am I fat? Why am I poor? Why am I not liked by people? Or why did I get this ugly divorce? Why did I fail my exam? Things like that. And then when you ask a why question to yourself, it's an easy question to ask, and it's always like a right hand. It comes as a strength point. It comes first in your mind. And then your mind will give you an answer because you're fat, because say your DNA is fat, or your parents have been fat, or you've been unlucky, you're ugly, things like that.
Yeah, but how reliable are those answers that we actually get?
Definitely. The more than the reliability of answer, it is the kind of answer, right? Type of answer that you get. It will validate as a belief for you. That's the reason we need to be really careful about what kind of question we are asking when we're thinking. Okay, that's conscious thinking.
It's actually about questioning than the answers.
Absolutely, because the quality of your question determines the quality of your answer.
Yeah.
So if you ask a why question in that event, for example, I'm fat. Why am I fat? Then your mind will come back to say you're a pig. That's very fat, for example. Now there is no intelligence in that. But when you same situation, I'm fat, but same situation, how can I improve my health? Or how can I get slimmer? See the question, you change the question from a why, a reasoning question, to a how, a creative or intelligent question. Then you get all the thing. Your mind will come back and give you a compatible answer to your question, saying maybe you might go gym for three or four mornings every week, or maybe you might want to cut some calories, or you might want to do some yoga. See, the same situation. I'm fat in both situations, but my first question as to why gave me a reason as to why I'm fat doesn't give me any intelligence.
Yeah.
And, that gives me depression and all that kind of, disempowering things. While I ask the question differently as to how can I improve my health, I get a different set of questions. So it's not the problem with your mind. It's not the problem with your capabilities. It's not the problem with your event. It's the problem of your questioning.
Yeah. Actually, the questions are the most important things.
Absolutely.
Now I want to directly go into influences. This is something that I want to also talk about because, again, this also influences our belief systems.
Absolutely.
हामी जसको नजिक हुन्छौँ, जसको एउटा हाम्रो जस्तो किसिमको सराउन्डिङ हुन्छ, पेरिफेरी हुन्छ, फ्रेन्ड्सहरू हुन्छ, त्यस्तै किसिमको हामी बनिरहेका हुन्छौँ, हामी टिपिरहेका हुन्छौँ होइन. वी अनकन्सियसली आर एन्ड यो कुरामा चाहिँ म आफै पनि आई स्ट्रगल अ लट बिकज आई समटाइम्स फिल कि आइ एम टेकिङ समथिङ रङ फ्रम माई फ्रेन्ड्स. उनीहरूको मतलब 50वटा राम्रो क्वालिटी होला, 50वटा नराम्रो क्वालिटी होला. आई फिल कि आइ एम टेकिङ द रङ क्वालिटिज. मलाई लाग्छ कि आइ एम बिङ कन्सियस अबाउट इट. तर एक्चुली पछि गएर रियलाइज गर्दाखेरि ओ आई एक्चुली क्यारी द्याट फ्रम द्याट फ्रेन्ड. त्यो बिलिफ त त्यहाँबाट आएको रहेछ भन्ने मैले आइडेन्टिफाई गरिरहेको हुन्छु हरेक समयमा बिकज वी आर इन्टरेक्टिङ विथ सो मेनी पिपल. फेसबुकको कारणले गर्दा एन्ड सोसियल नेटवर्कको कारणले गर्दा वी आर indulged in this conversation and this interaction while I face. How do we become conscious about any interaction? जस्तो किसिमको सराउन्डिङ हामीले प्राप्त गर्न गइरहेका हुन्छौँ भन्ने फिल भइरहँदाखेरि पनि how do we recognize and how do we filter out those wrong beliefs from other people as well?
Sure. To answer your question, relationship is influence. So, in itself, yeah. So there is no relationship without influence. If there is no influence, there is no relationship. Okay, so now influence is not given, it is earned.
Right.
It's like respect, not given, it's earned. Credibility, not given, it's earned. No one gives you respect, you need to earn it. No one gives you influence, you need to earn it. So relationship ko kura gardakeri, spouse relationship, parent-children relationship, teacher-student relationship, boss-employee relationship, all kind of relationship matters. Now the question is, as we said, relationship is influence. The question is who influences whom? Right? Now influence doesn't mean control. Influence is not control. Influence is a participation in that particular person's life. That's influence. Okay, so how much of a space do I get in that person's life is influence. So for example, a husband and wife is suffering, or boyfriend or girlfriend, so as to speak, is suffering from a relationship issue. Then they come to me for that one-on-one coaching relationship. I get into a straight mindset to them that it's not a relationship issue, it's influences.
Right.
So you need to fix the influence. You can't fix a relationship. You can't fix a relationship. You just need to fix the influence. The question is who is influencing whom.
Yeah.
And then the muddy part of this influence and relationship struggle is you seek influence with your partner or whoever matters to you without having any intention of growth. Okay. So in your influence, you can only improve your influence by raising your standard.
You're right.
Okay. You need to raise your game. And once you raise your game, raising a game means you need to be credible, number one. You need to show up as the same person all the time in all the situation. You can't show up as a very sober person today and show up a different person tomorrow. No. Your relation is going to die. So the first thing. Second thing is fair. Fair means if you judge yourself through your intention, then you judge other with their intention too. But we human beings, what we actually do is we judge ourselves with our intention while we judge other by their action,
right.
Which is, we're not fair. So relationship dies there. And the third is intentional growth. So as we think of the part of our body grow automatically, we think our relationship grows automatically too, which is wrong. No, you need to work every day in order to improve your relationship and then influence if it matters to you.
या यो रिसेन्टली तपाईँको त्यो सेमिनारमा पनि होइन जुन डिसेम्बर 1मा भएको थियो त्यहाँ तपाईँले भन्नुभएको रहेछ अबाउट कि दुईजना छन् र उनीहरू एकअर्कालाई मतलब दुईजनाको रिलेसनसिप छ र त्यहाँ चाहिँ the person who is actually more conscious about everything actually is the one who is influencing.
Correct.
And the other person is the one who is being influenced.
Correct.
How does one reach there? How does actually हामी सबैजनालाई त्यो एउटा इच्छा होला हैन that we are not influenced by others but we influence other people and the consciousness ko level, what were you actually talking about there?
Consciousness सुन्दाखेरि धेरै deep. Oh my God! This is not something that
achievable.
Just you have to be Gautam Buddha or certain enlightened person to achieve consciousness. Generally, we were conscious. we were conscious in the beginning, and that unconsciousness started from when we started taking up the garbages,
the beliefs, the wrong beliefs.
Yeah, belief around. So, for example, give an example. You're a child, 10 months old, walking on your 4 feet like an animal, okay? And then what happened to you that you felt like now it's time to stand up on 2 feet? Something happened. No one told you, but you got that consciousness that no, I'm a human being. I can't walk on 4 feet. I'm not made to that. I need to walk on my 2 feet.
Okay, that's consciousness.
Absolutely. Okay. Something that comes from within. Something told you that. No one has to tell you, but something told you from within, and you found out. And then what happens? You struggle. You fell down. You had bruises. You knocked your head a lot of times, but you didn't stop that calling.
So it comes from situations and
I wouldn't say intuition, but that's what I mean to say is we are already into that conscious level. We are infinitely stronger than we think.
It's within us.
Yes, it's within us. Our identity is we attach our identity to I'm a person, I'm a father, I'm a chartered accountant, I'm a doctor. But beyond that, you're a conscious human being, and your inclination is linked to the universe. So consciousness is being aware of the situation. For example, I'm sitting with you in the studio at the moment, and maybe thinking about my past, which means I'm not conscious. I'm driving a car looking at my rearview mirror. Okay, so consciousness is not being in past. Your past is a reference. You learn lesson from past. And future is not being too ambitious for a future, but trying to repair or fix your present. Being in present all the time and looking at your thought patterns, belief system, and your influence level. So consciousness actually is bringing yourself in the present all the time.
Yeah, exactly. It's getting deeper. The conversation is really getting deeper. But now it's time for the final commercial break. We are actually scratching the surface, and it's almost time to leave. But anyways, हामी जति भ्याउँछौँ त्यति कुराकानी गर्नेवाला छौँ in the remaining time. For now, let's go for the final commercial break on Speak Your Mind. यस बिहानीको 5 बजेदेखि मध्यरातको 12 बजेसम्म तपाईँलाई निकै रमाइलो गीत सङ्गीत र मस्त मस्त कार्यक्रमहरूको साथमा साथ दिने यो रहेको छ टाइम्स एफएम 90.6 मेगाहर्ज। म प्रसन्न रहेको छु, तपाईँलाई साथ दिइरहेको छु। यो शनिबार बिहानको समयमा स्पिक योर माइन्डमा नै हामी छौँ। स्पिक योर माइन्डकै बारेमा कुराकानी गरिरहेका छौँ। स्पिक योर माइन्डमा हामी आज विशेष गरी बिलिफ्सको बारेमा कुराकानी गरिरहेका छौँ। एकदम डिप सब्जेक्ट रहेको छ 1 आवरको शोमा। इट्स क्वाइट टफ टु एक्चुअली गो रियली डिग डिप एन्ड टक अबाउट डिफ्रेन्ट थिङ्स, बट जति सक्दो त्यति हामी कुराकानी गर्ने प्रयासमा छौँ। अमित श्रेष्ठजी हुनुहुन्छ मेरो साथमा, and he is a motivational speaker. He actually is a coach as well, personal coach पनि हुनुहुन्छ. He's an author as well. उहाँको नयाँ बुक पनि आउँदैछ, and it's really great to be talking with such an amazing person. Okay, अब अन्तिम व्यापारिक विश्राम पनि पार भइसकेको छ अमितजी। अबको लागि भने डाइरेक्टली I want to talk about NLP, of course. लास्ट विक यसलाई हामीले अलिकति मात्र टच गर्यौँ। लास्ट विक भने मैले के बुझेँ भन्दाखेरि राजेन्द्रजीले के भन्नुभएको थियो भन्दाखेरि he told कि about actually looking at your childhood and taking the actually looking at the best parts of your childhood. यदि तपाईको childhood traumasहरू भएको छ भने that is a good way to actually feel कि your childhood is good, because जब हामीले त्यो नजरियामा हेर्छौँ तब we actually are reflected all the good things that happen in our childhood. त्यो चाहिँ एउटा is that just one aspect of NLP, and what is NLP in a broader term?
NLP different aspects are NLP को. तर Neuro Linguistic Programming चाहिँ वास्तवमा के हो भने it providing practical ways in which you can change the way you think, okay? Or view the past event. Armanandजीले जुन childhood trauma कुरा गर्नुहुन्छ, it's a way you view your event and give a meaning. For example, हाम्रो चाहिँ scientifically हाम्रो चाहिँ के हुन्छ भन्दाखेरि certain event happens, okay, in front of you, and then you perceive it through your eyes or your any sense organs or any nervous system, and then there is a mind filtration thing happening inside the mind, okay? It filters that event, and then there is internal representation. That's an NLP term. Internal representation means, and then once the filtration happens, then your mind will actually give it a name, okay, through the internal filtration, the internal representation. So a childhood trauma, if it is a name, for example, it's given a disempowering name or something, sickness or things like that, that will stick in your mind, and all your actions later on associated with that trauma will always be disempowering. Okay, so NLP will actually first studies कि तपाईको कुन इभेन्टलाई तपाईको माइन्ड फिल्ट्रेसन कस्तो भयो, and then how did your nervous system took it as a part of internal representation. It means how was that event internally represented. Externally, that event was maybe a painful event or things happening externally. But when your mind perceives that event internally through an internal representation, what does your mind tell you? Okay, the difference between an event with how you perceive that event. NLP studies that, and NLP talks about how you can change it, through different NLP techniques. There is a vast NLP techniques, such as joy-filled techniques, pleasure, pain and pleasure technique, motivation, carrot and stick things, all that kind of thing. There's a technical anchoring, there's a technical trigger, a lot of things to talk. But then, in a nutshell, NLP is how you perceive the reality, and through your mental image, mental filtration, through internal representation, and what you see into that event.
Yeah, it's such an important thing in this generation, I mean, especially people who live in Nepal and the kind of suffering that we are facing because of different stuffs. Even mid-aged people are also still suffering from childhood traumas. I see that, and that's very important. Okay, हामी कार्यक्रमको अन्त्यमा पुगिसकेका छौं. Last question is of course about again going to beliefs, हैन र belief सँग नै लिंक गर्दै यो क्वेशन गर्न चाहन्छु कि you have actually registered in you an empowering belief. Saw your interview actually last night, and where you talked कि तपाईको main core एउटा life को theme भनेको नै how many people are better off because you lived भन्ने रहेको छ. That is such a important thing. तर त्यस्तो important कुरा कसरी, how did you register it, beliefs मा register कसरी हामीले गर्न सक्छौं त्यस्ता कुराहरू र साथसाथमा what are the things that we can do for 2018 to actually make our life better, of course.
Ultimately, everyone सबैले आफ्नो belief मा त्यही register गरेकै हुन्छ. Sooner or later it comes, but the painful thing is it only comes when you are very close to your death. And that's when people actually try to empower others, and when they don't have that power, that personal power, that physical power. But that's when they realize at that stage of their life. So I think all human beings, the good thing about human beings is all human beings can learn and coach from one another. So it's no different in me or anything special in me that I want to empower others. I think it's a human caliber. It just comes later in the life. In most people,
we need to wait for it. We need to
no, we don't need to wait for it. But then at the end, toward the end of your life, that's when I think most of the realization, when you look back, reflect back, things that you do, things that you earn, material things that you earn, your car, your house, everything, and then when they don't have that much of a meaning, then you try to find some meaningful thing before you say goodbye to the world. And that meaningful thing is now empowering others. There can't be anything more meaningful than empowering or giving others before you go. So maybe people are so much into egocentric world today that they try to earn more materially before they try to earn spiritually. So that's why I believe they wait for a long time before they realize that. So empowering people is a human endeavor, I believe. So 2018 question is, what's your outcome, what's your dreams? मेरो चाहिँ त्यही हो. म सब जसलाई पनि जब म ट्रेनिङको लागि जान्छु, I ask them, do you all have a dream? And everyone just gets excited and says, yes, we all have a dream, we all have a dream. And that's very obvious that all 100% of people have a dream.
Exactly.
But the question I asked, and another question straight away, I asked them, what have you done today in order to get closer to the dream? And that's when I see the room gets quieter. So the thing is, we can't have a first-class life with a second-class habit and a second-class thinking. So we talked about thinking, but we talk about habit is what you do daily.
The daily things count more.
Yes. Success is not about what you achieve in a day. Success is achieve what you achieve. Such success is built on what you achieve daily. So what you do daily. What are you doing on a daily basis? Okay. Or you just get up in the morning, to have your breakfast, pack up your luggage, go to work, come back, work, complain, all that thing, eat your dinner, sleep. Or do you do something else? Because it takes intention to have your dream come true. Right. So having dream is not enough. The question is always the question to ask is, what have I done today in order to get even an inch closer to my dream? That's really important. So first class habit equals first class thinking plus first class life equals first class habit plus first class thinking.
Yeah, it's all about thinking and
Absolutely.
habit,
Yeah,
and
correct.
that's something that we will take from this talk because it's very important. The subtleties, the सानो nuances होइन daily life मा हामीले use गर्न मिल्ने. Thank you so much. It was such a pleasure talking with you, Amit.
You're welcome.
It was amazing and धेरै कुराहरू सिक्न पाइयो. अलिकति अझ deep हामीले त्यसलाई छुन सके त अझ it would have been very nice, but because of the time limitation we cannot do that. But at least एउटा introduction भयो beliefs को बारेमा, belief systems को बारेमा. Yes, thank you so much. Times FM 90.6 megahertz को Speak Your Mind बाट अबको लागि म प्रसन्नले पनि बिदा माग्ने बेला भइसकेको छ. कृष्ण हरिजीलाई टेक्निकल साइडबाट सपोर्ट गर्नुभएकोमा धन्यवाद दिँदै न्यू इयर 2018 को पनि शुभकामना र आज लोसारको पनि शुभकामना दिँदै म प्रसन्न पनि यो प्रोग्रामबाट टाटा बाइ गर्न चाहन्छु. See you next week on the same time, same day.